Hello, beautiful people. Let me try to figure out how to manage this camera for right now. There's Anna. Okay, hold on. So I think what I'm going to try to do is put this right here. Hi. Well, we're going to have a plant in the side of us, but that's fine. That's okay. We're all plant friendly here. Okay. So, hi everyone. Hello subscribers. Hello new people. Hello the world. My name is Sydney Stocksdale, and I am a recent college graduate. Currently in my graduate program, completely virtually, completely online degree. It's happening right now. And I am a previous Peace Corps applicant that is now crossing my fingers to volunteer in the future. So, for those who are new, the reason why my Peace Corps status has now been pushed back to next year instead of this year in 2022 is because the Peace Corps application is long in itself. Once you're accepted and once you're invited, there's a whole bunch of documents that you have to finish in a short time frame. It can be about 6 to 9 weeks to get all the documentation turned in. But you have to think about that these are going to be appointments that you'll need to set with doctors. And if it's back to school season, it can sometimes be hard to even get something like a physical done in a certain amount of time that you need to be able to process all your health information documents and go abroad with the Peace Corps. So my previous Peace Corps invitation was with Morocco in 2022 as a youth development specialist, but it's now being pushed back, and I am open to other countries for the following year. So that is what I'm waiting on. I've talked back and forth with Peace Corps about different countries I'm interested in. Also, the role I'll be playing in itself does not have to be a community development specialist or a youth development specialist. I can also be, let's say, an English teacher, given that I'm a native English speaker. And I can also be a community development, like economic development sector, just because I am currently in my business classes, my business graduate program. So that means I am learning the skills needed that I need to understand econ, accounting, marketing, all your basic business skills. I'm currently in school for that. So that is what I'm working on now. So what am I going to do with this year-long gap between me potentially going abroad again with the Peace Corps? I'm figuring that out. Right now, I'm just focusing on my studies, my school. I've learned that there's a lot of different ways to kind of put yourself out there in the business sector, whether it's on like Etsy or YouTube. There's also independent contractors with like varsity tutors. So right now I am just putting myself out there and just seeing where I land, I guess, for this next year. I'm taking this year as a chance to be kind of entrepreneurial, let's say, and kind of make the best out of it, right? Because the past year, when I got my Peace Corps invitation, I received it in March of 2022, my invitation, right? Completely random, was not expecting it at all. I applied actually 2 years prior and missed COVID. So I had no idea whatsoever that I would be getting, feedback that I was accepted or that I was invited. I always kept in touch with Peace Corps, but I never knew exactly like when I'd get that invitation. So March 22, I got the invitation. I was also told that all of my documents need to be turned in for the like health stuff within the following like 6 to 9 weeks. So yeah, it was like crunch time for me. Like there's a lot of there's a lot of paperwork to do before you go, or they send you off to some other to a partnering country. So but during that time between March and then September was like the departure date. I was just like, I was like mentally preparing myself, right, to go. And I was like telling my family, my friends, and I was like keeping them updated with the process. But I was always like kind of in this like waiting sphere. Like I was in this like waiting time. Like I was just enjoying my summer, like I recently enrolled myself in graduate school. So that was just kicking off. So I was kind of just like relaxing and just in school and just waiting for me to leave, right? But since the paperwork wasn't turned in and that happened, I accepted it. I talked to the Peace Corps. They told me that like no worries, like there is like a second invitation that will be sent out in case like this happens. So like I'm not the only one, that hasn't been able to crunch in the time to turn in the health documents. Like there's many other applicants who've done the same. That's why Peace Corps gives applicants a second invitation at times when this happens. So also, if you apply to the Peace Corps one time in your life and you're like, right now is not a good time, you can reapply however many years later. Like it doesn't just like expire. So that's also a mental note to think of. But yeah, so what am I going to be doing for this next year? I want to wait, right? Like I want to be like in this like accepting or receiving time of like, yeah, like I'm just going to let this see how, the months unfold as I continue with my graduate program. But I also want to like start something, I feel this like energy of putting myself, like whether it's like something creative, like blogging or vlogging, or yeah, just like helping resumes, because I once was a recruiter. So I've seen lots of resumes in my time, but yeah, I've been just like kind of rescoping what I want to do with my time for this next year. So it's exciting, it's like any entrepreneur or business owner, they kind of like start from scratch and build something. And then once that thing's done, they package it up and then move on to something else. So for me, like I have this year time. That means I have a year to kind of develop something like manageable. And then a year later, I can, push it off to the side, like that was an awesome experience. Or I can carry on the same project with me into the following years of, let's say, if I go back to the Peace Corps, I can take my project that I made here and carry it with me into the Peace Corps. So let's say if I do something like right now with vlogging, or if I do something right now with blogging, or just like connecting with people via like LinkedIn, like I can start that project now and that intention now, and it can carry on with me for the following year of this year from 2022 to 2023. And I can carry it on with me while I'm going abroad if I want to do so. Let's say I don't go abroad at all. Let's say that I build something now and I'm like, you know what? Like I'm actually going to focus on what I have building here, and I'm going to push Peace Corps off to the side for just like a little bit longer so I can really see what it's like to get my feet planted, right? And then build what I'm building here for the next 2 or 3 years. Like that's like the entrepreneurial mind. It's like, okay, what can I build and what can I make, like where do my skills lie, So some people are really great at graphic designing. I am a beginner when it comes to graphic designing. So I'm not the person to come to build your website. Let's say you're really great at, working with drones or taking like, or being like an oceanographer. I myself have scuba dived like only a handful amount of times. I cannot imagine what it would be like to focus a camera underwater, like at the same time, like getting the perfect photo of like a clownfish, for example. Like those are all things that those are not my skills right now. Like right now I have a certain amount of skills, let's say like typing or writing an essay or, being a tutor or helping you build your resume. Those are all like tactical things I can do now. So it's really cool when you're like kind of in like this middle phase of like creating something, because it's like, okay, like just all you have to think about is, what do I want to learn? Like, where do I want to grow? Or what would be like a cool skill to have that would help me however many years from now? So that's kind of where I'm at now, is instead of being in a place that's like waiting, which that's okay to be, like, it's okay to be in that place too, right? Like, not like it was okay that I was like, in the waiting space. But now I'm kind of moving into like a waiting, but also building phase. So I'm going to see kind of where that takes me and where that goes. Also, if you're on Varsity Tutors and you need an English teacher or an English tutor, here I am. I will help you out. That'll be fun. I have a TESOL certificate, and I like to have fun with my students, so we can make it like fun and interactive and whatnot, and work on your goals. But yeah, that's where I'm at now with life, is building something. So if anyone has like any, I guess, ideas, or if anyone like who is an entrepreneur now has been in the same space of like creating something from the bottom up, let me know. I'm excited, like I'm still gonna be focusing on my studies, obviously. Like I'm still gonna be getting that done on the side. But yeah, I think I'm gonna take what I've been learning and see what I can build here in the now and see where that goes, right? Because that's important in itself too. So yeah, that's what I have going on. My family and friends update, they are okay with me like prolonging my time to go abroad. Like no worry there. I have some friends that are going to be going through their own life changes in the next year. So I don't know. I think it's a good thing that like, you know, like I would have loved to go to Morocco. I would have loved to teach and be a part of the community, but it's kind of a good thing that as of right now, that's being pushed off to the side. Because I also was reading in the Peace Corps website that you'll be needing to teach, like if you're coming on as a volunteer, you're going to be needing to teach other like 20-something-year-olds or teenagers entrepreneurial skills. At that time, I was like, oh, okay, like so I can theorize, you know, practical skills that are going to be needed to be taught once it gets to the community. But I think actually having hands-on experience now and like seeing where whatever I build goes to, I think that will be more plausible to bring over to Morocco because I can be like, oh yeah, like this is what I built in my community. Like, you know, like tell me what you want to build. You know, like it's also like coming into the community with your own ideas. That's okay to have ideas in your mind, but once you get to the community, you're going to be listening to what the community needs and be implementing what they need, like with your skills and kind of working together to build something. Okay, so it's a much more sustainable perspective whenever you're going to a community. Like, because a community will always be a community. You as a volunteer, you're going to be coming and going. Okay, you can come back in the future. You can come back as a friend or even family. How close you get, depending on how close you get to your, you know, your community or your host family. But that community will always be there. So when you come to that community, it's like, yes, like, you know, let's say you can speak English natively. Like having English classes would be nice to have, you know, because it'd be helping their youth or helping the youth have those skills for the future if they were wanting to go to an English-speaking country for the future, whether it's for school or experience or studies or travel. You know, there's a lot of different experiences that come from learning another language. That's like a tactical skill that you can bring. But like if you're coming into a community and you're like, okay, like this, and this needs to be done. That's again, I love the intention. I love like, you know, the drive, but the community again is the community needs to come up with ideas and brainstorm with you because the community is what's going to be there 30 years from now. Okay, so they need to like the community is what's going to have a sustainable partnership with whatever idea or whatever project's done. So that's just a mindset to have. That's a mindset that Peace Corps members or the Peace Corps as an organization wants to come from. Is like a more sustainable place versus a place that's like, oh, we need to do this and this and this. Like, no, the community is going to help us, tell us what they need. And if we have those skills, like we're going to be there and we're going to be able to work with them. So that's something to think about. And also the Peace Corps, like they only invite volunteers to work in communities that need a certain set of skills that you might have as a recent college grad or as a like someone working in that business sector or that sector in general for how many years. So that's another thought. But yeah, so if anyone has any like needs any help or needs any like suggestions when you're making your own Peace Corps application, let me know. I would be happy to help. Although as of right now, since I have not gone in service, I don't know how much help I can actually be, but I can help reference you to someone else who can help you more, who's been, let's say, in the country that you are thinking about volunteering in. Because right now I'm still like in this middle ground of like figuring out for myself what I'm going to be doing, you know? So like, whether it's Peace Corps now or Peace Corps 20 or 15 years from now, you know, it's like I'm in this different space. So, yeah, we're going to see about that. But I do want to say that anyone who's watched my previous videos about Morocco, my heart goes out to you. Thank you for watching. My heart goes out to the people in Morocco in general. Like I said, like I met people in college from Morocco. They are beautiful people. So Morocco is a beautiful country. I've never gone personally, but I've heard great things. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And I'm going to keep an update here on these vlogs, kind of a process of what's happening, because I was watching this other vlog of someone describe how, let's say, for example, you're starting out to be a vlogger, right? You're starting out to be a YouTuber. There's so much involved with being a YouTuber, okay? Between the technical skills and the creative skills of like condensing your video and like adding media or adding songs, music, or even like subtitles. Like there's so much that can go involved with both creatively, and also technically. So technically in the sense of like camera, like what camera do you use, or what do you use like Photoshop, or do you use like Adobe? I think it's like Adobe Illustrator or something. Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyways, it's like there's so much involved with this as being like someone's hobby, part-time job, or full-time job. Like there's a full range of what creators can do using YouTube as a platform. So, but I was listening to actually a YouTuber describe how the process for him is what he enjoys. So let's say like right now, I'm taking this video on my smartphone, okay? Someone else could be using like a very nice Canon or a very nice Sony, camera to be taking videos on. Okay, that's awesome. Like they are using that. They know how to use that. And they're also most comfortable using those products. For right now, I'm comfortable using my smartphone because this is what I use on a daily basis. But let's say, a week, 2 weeks, or a month, or even a year from now, I could be using something different because I've grown in those kinds of skills. And this right now is a chance to kind of vlog and see the process of getting to those skills, if that's where I want to grow on. And yeah, and it's also a chance to connect with other people who could be in that same boat of creating YouTube videos or using a smartphone or using a different kind of camera or using a drone. There's so many different ways to take videos, but I think like being able to see where you're at now and then also where you want to go, let's say a month or 2 months from now, and then also kind of like where you see yourself doing that as like a part-time or hobby kind of thing. So for right now, I'm doing this more as like a hobby kind of thing. I also kind of like, I'm doing this for a hobby. Like I want it to be fun, and also a way to connect, with other creators. But I think long-term, I'm going to use these videos as a way to kind of just see where I'm at, like right now with my ideas and what I'm trying to build and who I'm connecting with. I think this is all a great place to start. So no matter what you're trying to do, whether it's like a new yoga pose or a new workout, like do what you can do now, what you're comfortable with doing now, and just process, see where you go next, so let's say like for me, I couldn't do a push-up for the longest time. Okay. Like I played sports in high school, but doing a push-up, like I could probably do 10 at most. Okay. But what I did is I bought like a string, like a band. Yes, a band. I bought a band. And I wrapped the band around my arms and I was able to do more push-ups. So I had that support of the band to help me with my push-ups. And now I can do, more push-ups. So it's just like, get the support that you need to finish the goal out that you want. And also see where you start and where you end in like the process of developing those skills and those tools to be where you want to go. So that's my event for right now. And, we're getting into the new season of fall. So we have our turtlenecks and at least here in like different regions and areas, some people have turtlenecks, some people just have long sleeves. It's shoulder season. It's what they call shoulder season. So, it's shoulder season. So just embrace the change of colors and, see what happens next. So, cheers for now. I would drink some coffee with you, but as you can see, this is kind of empty. So I suggest for me, actually myself, I'm going to get some tea after this. But for now, I just want to say peace out. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope something I said resonated with somebody, connected with somebody. And until next time. Cheers. Bye.